Assalamu alaikum, welcome to another new analysis video from BL Tech Pro. Today, we will try to understand whether we should open a buy or sell position in the gold market or which one would be safer. We will discuss this topic. So before we start the main discussion, let's take a quick look at today's economic calendars. If we start by talking about the economic calendar, today we have a moderately busy economic calendar. There are a lot of important data points, some have already been released and some will be released later. Since we are talking about gold versus the dollar, we will focus on those. We want to keep the news about the dollar index at the center of our discussion. Here we can see that several news releases related to the dollar index are scheduled. So, the most important news today are those related to jobless claims. There are several, such as jobless claims, 4-week average, initial jobless claims, and continuing jobless claims. These 3 o'clock news releases are mainly the ones that will have some impact on the market today. So, we are expecting that the market might be somewhat volatile during the New York session. If we get the expected data as shown in the data table, then the dollar could weaken somewhat during that time. When it comes to discussing news, the real picture will only become clear at that time, depending on what kind of data appears in the data table. The market movement will be based on that data. It could be less or more. As we said, if we get the data that is expected, it could turn out to be less or more than anticipated. That will only be understood at that moment. After these news data are released, then we will try to discuss it. So let's go back to the main discussion now. Let's return to the chart and see what kind of technical movement gold might make today. Since gold is currently in a strong buy trend, here we have created some support and resistance levels that were already established. The market has been moving based on these support levels from before. Actually, we have been observing these for some time. So the current situation here is that investors are gradually shifting their focus away from the geopolitical tensions that existed. And that's why we are seeing a bit of a downward movement in gold. And even today, we might see a bit of a downward movement in gold. We will observe a downward movement. A strong resistance level has formed here. At the same time, a strong support level has also formed here. Since investors have now somewhat shifted their focus away from geopolitical tensions, we expect to see some selling movement in gold today. Here, a strong resistance level has formed for us, and here another strong support level has formed. So we are seeing the market move within this support and resistance zone for an extended period. If this support level breaks downward, then we might see gold around $4,400. And if it manages to break upward, then we could see gold around $4,500. So in this situation, what should our trade setup look like for today? Let's have a brief discussion about that. Since investors have now somewhat shifted their perspective away from geopolitical tensions, we expect to see some selling movement in gold today, and what else? We believe that staying in a sell position on gold is currently the safer option. So we are marking a few points here for placing sell trades. These are the levels from which you can consider selling. For example, if we look at gold, 4,004. If we get it around $45 to $4,450, then we can open a sell order from there. And if for any reason our sell trade goes into a loss, then we can open another recovery order. That would be around $4,460 to $70. And we can use stop loss for all of these trades. 4,500. I'm marking the stop loss above the dollar in red since our stop loss color is red. At the same time, if we find gold around $4,400, we can open a buy trade from there, and if for any reason our buy trade goes into a loss, then we can open another recovery trade around $4,370. And we can set the stop loss for all these trades around $4,345. So this was our brief trade setup for today. We hope that you will manage your trades nicely according to our setup. With that expectation, we take our leave. See you in the next video. Allah Hafiz.